back to my channel. Today I want to share the 5 main lessons that I learned when I transitioned from corporate to now being a solopreneur. So just to give you guys all a bit of context, I used to work for B2B SaaS companies, both in private and public sectors, and as an in-house marketer, and I've done a lot of different things such as content marketing, demand generation, events, ads, emails, account-based marketing, you name it, I have done it. So around 3 years ago, I started my own company, and I wanted to mainly help B2B SaaS companies with their marketing and marketing foundation. So I decided to do more of marketing consulting roles. I also picked up freelance copywriting, as I love being a writer and creatively expressing things and being a strategic partner with different companies. And I would say the impetus that drew me to leave the corporate environment or the tech environment is because I was burnt out. But that's a story for another time. So why I wanted to share the 5 lessons I've learned over the last few years is because I feel like there's more and more B2B SaaS marketers coming out to the market, but there's still not a lot of us. If you saw my last video, I ventured out and started doing marketing coaching. And there's not a lot of marketing coaches out there with a background of B2B SaaS marketing, right? Not saying it's the end all and be all of all kinds of marketing, but I would say there's so much to be learned and utilized from a tech marketing expert. And so for me, I thought, what a better way to share my anecdotes along with the lessons. So the first thing I had was the value of corporate skills and being exposed to the tech industry and the marketing skills I've honed over the years. It actually helped me quickly and efficiently build my business because you kind of understand the ins and outs of how to build the tech infrastructure of your business, how the sales process goes, how's finance and legal, accounting, all these things. So compared to people who don't have this kind of experience, it was a seamless transition for me. It wasn't too hard to figure everything out on my own. And I would say even knowing which tech tools to use, like free or low cost tools, you're already miles ahead of a lot of people. And I realized it also gave me the ability to be able to do both strategy and execution work and everything in between, not just for my business, but for the clients that I help with. So I think there is still something to be said to glean the experience if you're still working in corporate or tech, to use that. And for those who are looking for marketing coaches or other consultants or solopreneurs, that's someone you can look out for because they understand the game, the marketing game, especially websites, social media, and all these other online things. And I would say the second one that I've learned is learning how to go from having this structure, daily structure in the corporate world, and now there's a lot of flexibility and autonomy. Basically, you run your schedule. So it's kind of knowing how to balance what works best in what kind of situation. So knowing how to plan your days, whether you're batching content, like I am batching content right now. As you can tell, I'm wearing the same clothes from the last video. But also knowing when to, maybe I need to take some days off to deal with other things as well. So knowing the difference between a structured work schedule may work well for certain seasons of your business or certain life stages, because your business grow and evolve with you, and when to adopt more of a flexible schedule, or when to also do a bit of hybrid. Maybe it's like every day 9 to 11 you're always creating content, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday is always client work. I feel like that's what balance is. Balance is going to look so different for everyone. It's not necessarily 50-50. And the third lesson, which I kind of mentioned in my last video, if you haven't watched it yet, you should. Business building to me has felt like a meditative practice. So I kind of described it as, in the last video, it's like a journey inward. And what that means is it really helps you to get to know more about yourself. I feel like when you're in a corporate setting, a lot of us tend to just work, maybe even night and weekends, that when we're off work, we just want to tap out. We literally just want to watch our shows or listen to music or eat good food or hang out with our friends. Like there's no more mental capacity to think for ourselves, to get to know ourselves, or even talk to ourselves, to check in and see how we feel, what are we thinking, how do we vibe with certain things, and doing all that reflection for ourselves. But with being a solopreneur now, I feel like there is a lot more time, especially what I describe as a cycle breaker. I needed more time to heal a lot of different things and integrate a lot of different things that I've learned from therapy or different resources that I've leaned on over the years to fully adopt what I've learned and apply it to the real world. And it also helped me better understand what do I like and what don't I like. So what you like doing maybe could bring you a lot of money, but if it's something that's really tugs at you and it's really frustrating, then just don't do it. Like try to figure out something else. And I think another big one is, as part of this meditative practice, is unlearning corporate habits. So if there are certain things that is still stuck to us, so for me sometimes it's like the structure, like, oh, I'm gonna do a 9-to-5 day, but there are days when I wake up and I'm like, my body really needs more rest. So I just tend to give myself rest until my body feels ready to tackle the day. But I think a lot of the productivity gurus or a lot of business people will be like, no, you have to always be go, go, go. But then you're just kind of repeating the patterns and behaviors that you took on while you were in a corporate setting. That's another big lesson for me, which I'm still unlearning a lot of different corporate habits, but I think eventually with time, new healthy habits would settle in. The next big lesson for me is in corporate, again, because you don't have so much time for yourself, I really didn't meet a lot of different people. So I know a lot of people think networking is icky and it's like, I don't really feel like it. But for me, how I see networking is actually just making connections, making new friends, building relationships, things like that. Even doing this YouTube, I'm really excited to see what portals and opportunities or people will come into this cozy corner of the internet that I hope to create and can connect with. I really love meeting new people because I feel there's so many different perspectives, right? There's over 7 billion humans on Earth. We all have different life experiences, stories, dreams, fears, all these things. And it's really cool to me that, oh, this person lived life this way, or this person has a perspective like this, and kind of being able to hold different worldviews and perspectives in your head is super helpful. Even it might be things you don't agree with, at least you can be like, there's someone else in this world who thinks like that, right? That to me also gives me a lot of creative inspirations, like, oh, they can do things like this, or we can try this, or there's a latest trend like that. So that's why I feel like new people is an portal, is an avenue to get there and to see that, versus you trying your best maybe in your own little echo chamber, which I feel like it's so hard because then you're kind of just stuck with your own worldview and how you think things should be done. And I would say this also kind of accelerates the things you're learning. So maybe through one conversation is worth more than you flipping so many books, going through so many masterclass or courses and things like that. Maybe you're not going to be an expert, but you're going to learn enough to get you going to the next step. And my last thing is the lesson that was the hardest to swallow. Your best ideas might be a pioneer in the industry. So sometimes when, the typical thing that not just marketers, but a lot of founders, startup founders or business owners, they think the best product will just automatically attract your customers. But that's why there's marketing and sales in companies, right? Because we do need that push. Because if I just create my own thing and don't tell anyone about it, or just don't showcase it, then no one, even if it's a good thing and it's gonna impact humanity in a positive way, they're not gonna be able to know it. And I think that in turn kind of is a negative effect of your intention in the first place, right? You really want to help people, but you aren't helping people if you don't share it out there. So I can touch on it on the next video, but I had some pretty cool ideas which a lot of marketers in the industry thought, oh yes, we definitely need this. But because it was so new and it's not the most sexiest thing ever, but it was much needed. It didn't do that well. But that's why there needs to be a balance between product market fit and also being a dreamer and visionary, because it is those of us who are able to create something out of nothing and having that big, bold vision that is going to shift the world in a way that we think could help humanity or help our corner of the community. And so that's my 5 lessons. If you have any that you would like to share, maybe you also transition from corporate to being a solopreneur, or even as a business owner yourself or other solopreneurs, I love to hear your take on it. I love to hear other people's lessons because I feel like that's a great way to learn, and also helps others to not make those kind of missteps and just help them get on their way faster. So thank you all for watching again, and until next time, bye.